And action. Anyway, we're back. Once more. Right. Like I said, probably at the ending of the last Sans What If. This was a two-parter. I recorded it all at the same time. This is the second half of the tournament. Please like and subscribe. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I think it came out well. I'm messing with it. Yeah. Enjoy. Finally, we on to the second round. Sans versus Shoutout. Obviously, as Sans is walking, making his way down to the stairs so he can get to the arena, he done left Papyrus and them, he alone. Endeavor's like, you fighting Shoutout, huh? You know, Sans turned around, he was like, a popular hero's talking to me. That's a surprise. You know, like, you know, just like, oh, wow, a popular hero's talking to me. What a world. You know, Sanson already, quote unquote, judged him. Endeavor got some level of violence. Kind of makes sense because of what Endeavor did, first of all, but also because of, you know, adults in this world have a little bit more, or have a reasonable amount, Sans would guess, especially if they're in the hero business, right? Endeavor got a little bit more than the reasonable amount, and comparing that to what Todoroki was telling him, Sans ain't really got any kind of respect for him. At the very least, it's not 19. So, but yeah, Endeavor, you know, it's like, yeah, you're Gaster's brat, huh? Gaster's a lot stronger than what he leads on, but he's always in them books. That's why he can never take the number 2 spot from me or some shit, because, you know, he on that pride shit, right? You know, Sans is like, oh, really? And it was like, yeah, but you don't even act like you care, nothing like your brother. You know, your brother really out there putting in all the work all the time. I'd rather have your brother fight Shoto and make that fire spark, but you will have to do. And, you know, Sans is like, just blankly staring at him, right? And as Endeavor continues to talk about some bullshit, and it's like, I want you to make Endeavor, and I want you to make Todoroki use his fire side so that he can become greater than All Might as he continues to grow in strength every day. And Sans is like, it's up to Shoto if you want to, it's up to Todoroki if you want to use that. And Endeavor's like, what? You know, because Sans talking back. And Sans is like, yeah, it's not up to me. Obviously, it's not my quirk. I'm not the one making him use it or anything. Just like it's not up to you. It's not your quirk. You can't make him use it. It's up to Shoto. It's his quirk. And if he's going to go all out today, if he doesn't think he needs to do that to beat me, then why do I need to stop? Why should I prove him wrong? Before Endeavor can say anything on some bribery shit or whatever, right? Hey, Sans is like, also for the record, you suck as a dad. As he starts walking away, it was like, what did you say to me? It was like, and for the record, I don't know if it's just the heat off your quirk, or if it's you using the wrong type of toothpaste. But I mean, I feel like every time you speaking to me, it's a little bit, you know, a little bit hot, a little bit of hot breath over there. I need you to fix that, Endeavor. And, you know, Endeavor's like, who do you think you are talking to me this way? Shoto will be #1 hero, greater than All Might. I'll make sure of it. And, you know, Sans stopped before the exit, and he's like, see, the thing is, me and Papyrus already promised to help him take care of all of his endeavors. If that includes you, you know, as the eye kind of shines a little bit, it's like, Endeavor, you know, he a little bit shook. Get quiet. Pussy. Anyway, match start, right? Sans up on the ring. Todoroki get up there. You know, he wasn't, Sans wasn't up there before Todoroki got to the stairs. Todoroki got to the stairs, Sans teleported up there, and then went to sleep as Todoroki walked up, because Sans be aura farming like this 90% of the time. While Sans is asleep, sleep standing, of course. You know, Midnight's like, battle begin. You know, Shadow trying to, he get prepared. He see that Sans still sleep, ain't moved, right? He look at Midnight, like looking at Todoroki and Sans like, you gonna do something or, you know, Sans still sleep. Todoroki like, all right, whatever, you know, try to freeze him out. Sans, he sleeps somewhere else now. You know, teleportation, you know how it is. And, you know, he like, what are you doing? What, you know, he started trying to like asking questions and shit. Sans, quote unquote, still asleep. He tried to hit him with some more ice. He's somewhere else now. You know, laying up against the first ice. You know, still asleep. He rage baiting the fuck out of Shoto right now. He rage baiting the fuck out of him, which is fine because it's Shoto. But other niggas in the crowd, like, you know, they niggas laughing and shit. Some niggas laughing, some niggas like, man, he not taking it serious. Sans isn't here for them niggas. He don't care about that shit. He down there didn't want to. He down there wanted to walk off the first disqualification ring, but because he got this far, and because Papyrus wanted to help him a little bit, you know, he gonna help him a little bit. That's the only reason why he's still here. So, you know, Shadow get a little bit mad, like, what are you doing playing with me like this? You're supposed to be taking it serious. We're in a match, you know. You know what I'm saying? He starts stretching. It's like, oh, you taking it serious? I thought we was playing, you know. Whole lot of but if you're ready to take it serious, you know, I mean, that must mean that you're ready to use off your quirk, right? I won't be fighting somebody that can only use half their quirk. That just doesn't seem fair to me. And Charles like, he kind of confused at first. He's like, oh, I know. My dad put you up to this, right? What, he bribed you or something? You know what I'm saying? It's like, first off, my dad's hella rich. He wouldn't have enough money to bribe me. Second off, this is more to do with the promise me and Papyrus gave you more than what your dad said. And trust me, believe that your dad did say something. You know, still rage baiting because he know that Todoroki don't endeavor to do shit with his life. But it's alright though. But Todoroki started running up the ice. You feel me? He tried to hit him with some ice stomps. You feel me? As he hit the ground, Sans obviously wasn't going for none of that shit. Dodged, you know. Some of the gaster blaster just to you know, as Todoroki ducked, you know, he wiped all the ice off the ring. Like, it was getting cold, so I just wanted to, you know, open up the area a little bit more, you know. Get some of that sun back, some of that heat. You know, as he looked back at Todoroki, trying to freeze him some more. So, you know, some of the ice blocks to him. Sans shoot it down with a gaster blaster as well. And he's like, you're not gonna win like this. You know, as you know, this is a battle of stamina versus endurance. And Sans has way more stamina than Todoroki has endurance. He's not gonna be able to withstand the ice that Todoroki is giving out. And Todoroki, who's feeling it, is a little bit frustrated. It's like, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna get stronger with just my eyesight every time, and I'm gonna be the number one hero without using his fucking quirk. You know, trying to catch his breath because it's ice. You know, it's ice all throughout here. And Sans is like, that's pretty funny. I just said it wasn't his quirk. And Todoroki like, what? You know, as he tried to summon some more ice right towards him. Sans, you know, in his face, like, you know, blacked eyes. He blinked out his eyes and shit as you know, he teleports right up to Todoroki, and it's like, I just told him that that's not his quirk. Sans, I mean, you know, Sans, he about that shit. He about that shit. You know he is. So Todoroki, he get a little bit scared. He try to, you know, move back, summon some more ice. Sans put up a bone wall, stop the ice in place. Since Todoroki is a lot slower right now, and he on top of a gaster blaster. He teleport on top of a gaster blaster, and he looks down at Todoroki like, neither is it mine, neither is it any of the rest of your families. There's only one person that gets to control what that quirk does, and that's you. It's 10 out of 10 nigga right there. 10 out of 10 nigga as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, that triggers a little bit of flashbacks. Just a little bit of them flashbacks, to his mother and All Might and childhood. And as Todoroki's on the ground, he starts smiling a little bit, because he's in control. His father's not in control. All these years, all this time he's been using ice, he's proven that. He gets to decide what he wants to do. It's his quirk. So he started using fire. He started using that fire on him. Melting the ice all around them. And standing up as soon as that fire activate. And he was like, who's not taking this match serious now? Helping me use more of my strength? What's wrong with you? It was like, in a sense, like, Papyrus would have probably done the same thing as he jumps off the gaster blaster and lands, moving it closer. You feel me? He summoned another one. He's like, now let's see what you can do. Taking it a little bit more serious. Just a little bit more serious. He pushing him, right? Todoroki, he started using that ice again. Since, he fly back, teleporting, but he not on no gaster blaster. He just in midair. He dodging all the ice attacks that's coming for him. Midair, teleporting. That's some technique right there, right? Todoroki, he charge up the flames like he did in the anime with the you feel me? Melting all the ice, heat rise. You feel me? Steam, all of it. And Sans, he slide in between some of the remaining ice with the gaster blaster. Obviously, the cement dude who's been repairing the arena the whole time, and Midnight, they trying to stop the fight. It's a larger gaster blaster. And Todoroki, he let that fire spout. You feel me? So Sans, he shoot that laser beam. Hella explosions. All of it. Well, it's about the same as much that happened in canon. But still, right? Todoroki was able to stay in the ring. Sans is a lot lighter than most people in the show. Sans flies to the sky. He's thinking to himself, that kid's pretty strong. He knows what he's doing. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Terrible father, but, good head on his shoulders as he's falling down from the sky. Everybody looking around for Sans like, dang, where'd he go? What happened? Some people worried for his, for his Chara, the people that actually know that Sans got 1 HP technically. Kind of. Does he still have that? Who knows? He hasn't been touched yet so far. Sans decides, he wherever he lands, that's where he lands. But Pirates eventually see him. He don't know if he can, he know he can jump towards him, right? But he don't know if, he don't want to interrupt the match, disqualify Sans, right? Sans is awake anyway, so as he approaches the ground and he starts feeling that heat from the ground more and more, he just slows his descent. And wherever he landed, which just so happened to be slightly outside the arena. But that's fine, because Sans didn't give a fuck anyway. Yeah, not one. He didn't. He was tired of fighting after this one. He wasn't gonna convince every nigga he fought to be a little bit better than what they was. He just needed to do the one and the two that he did. You feel me? So, you know, if somebody, you know, did the President Mike out there like Shoutout Todoroki is the winner. Niggas cheering and shit because that was a great fight. Finally, we got some great fights. Because everybody else was no, I'm joking. But yeah, you know, some great fights. President Mike, everybody cheering, right? They're like, oh my gosh, it's Todoroki, yo. Showed obviously Endeavor. He was happy. Wasn't thrilled about Sans' mouth, but he was still happy. You know, Shoutout, he stood up because he barely survived that shit. And, you know, he like, oh wow, you know, he looking for Sans. He see him cheering him on in the crowd too. It do be like that, don't it? And you know, Todoroki, he continues the tournament. Sans his loss. I know some niggas was surprised. I know at the very least some niggas was surprised. Everybody might not have been surprised. Some niggas was surprised by that shit. Anyway, let me see what else. Who else is fighting in this tournament or whatever? Right? We got Ibaro and what the fuck is this nigga name? Azrael. That's next. They gotta take a break because these niggas done fucked up the whole arena. But that is next. Certain people in the classroom, they asking them what was going on. Especially Bakugo. Bakugo was like, come on, I know you was still awake while you was slowing down, while you was going down. Why didn't you make sure that you was in the ring? And Sam was like, and I was tired of fighting anyway, man. I wasn't trying to do all that. Y'all got it, man. Somebody will get first place for me. You know, Bakugo don't understand none of that shit. Talking about let the best man win, and then he barely try. He just don't understand Sans, and that's fine. Papyrus is obviously proud that Sans made it this far. Fresh and charred, it makes sense. Sans don't really fuck with fighting if it's outside of reasons to fight. If there's no reason to fight, Sans ain't really trying to fight for real. Todoroki, you know, he good, but he don't talk to him because he not really connected with him like that. But, you know, he feeling better about the situation. Todoroki's next fight is whoever wins versus Ibaro and Azrael, so it'll be Azrael. But that's besides the point. We'll get there when we get there. Niggas happy. Niggas good with the outcome. Continuing on, you know, Ibaro show up, Azrael show up. Ibaro realized that Azrael got fire as well as plant kinesis. She just got plant kinesis, but she gonna try. You know, she praying to the Father, the Holy Spirit, God, Jesus, all that, because you know. It's only one God out there. You know, fight begins. You know, she turn around, do the defense shit, right, with her hair in the ground, and it's protecting her from anything. Azrael just start walking as Flowey is underground, or really above ground, but making sure all the underground vines isn't affecting Azrael, because Flowey's the ultimate assist of the situation. Azrael could have did the shit by himself, but Flowey's here, so he doesn't have to. And as Azrael's walking forward some more, roots start coming up out the ground behind him, you know? Just slowly but surely, it's just more and more vines. They just start bow, bow, boom, you know, out the ground. You know, like oh shit, this is a really, because before, you know, Heroes was like, damn, this nigga just walking, right? What's going on? Then it was like, oh wow, they've been fighting this whole time. Wow, that shit kind of crazy. Ain't nothing she can really do to stop the situation, right? Azrael, he go close, you know, grab her on the shoulder. It was like, howdy. As Flowey is done going all throughout her vine hair, you know. You know, he able to kind of whack her out the ring because, you know, Azrael distracted her. You know, Flowey popped her out the ring. She ain't got a lot of strength on her. That was probably the weakest fight we'll see. Maybe we'll find out. Next, we got who the fuck is it? Ida and Papyrus. Gosh, this is a terrible matchup. I mean, Papyrus got to fight 2 goddamn no names right now. That's crazy work for Papyrus. So y'all know what happens. Ida, he ready for it. He think he got something for Papyrus. He doesn't. You feel me? He doesn't at all. He full sprinting towards Papyrus. He trying to make up for his last performance. Papyrus, weave. He dodged out the way. He's faster than Ida. Ida's like, he slowed down a little bit trying to turn. He's like, there's more where that came from. Runs up, try to, jump kick, duck. That's my boy Papyrus. He duck on him. Then he tried to turn around, hit him with another kick. Papyrus grab his leg, spin him, throw him. Ida not going for it, so he recovered mid-air, full sprint forward. Papyrus, he throws some blue bones out there. Because Ida is constantly moving, and it would be crazy for him to stop moving. He does know what these do, but it's just he try to get in between them. He get hit by some. He get knocked back. While Ida's looking up, right? He try to get up real quick. He try to full sprint. Papyrus like, you're blue now. You feel me? Which obviously, like I said previously, stops him from moving left and right. So it's a head-on encounter now. I don't know if Ida would know that, but I'm telling y'all that's what happens. Ida he jump up trying to hit him with the kick from above. Papyrus jump back. Gaster blaster behind him. Ida try to go left or right. Yeah, he didn't know that. I'm gonna let you know, right? He didn't know that. He didn't know it was stopping him from moving left and right. He get hit with the Gaster blaster, knocks him towards Papyrus. Papyrus grab him and throw him out the ring. It wasn't a good matchup for Ida. Ida wasn't going to be and Papyrus is not one for trying to bully a nigga at all. So that was the most effective way Papyrus could have ended that match respectfully. And he does. Respectfully, of course, He showed Ida his flowers. Ida doesn't deserve him, but he still showed him his flowers. After that, we got an Undying Sue situation. I'm not going over Sue's trash ass. She's not even supposed to be here. She gets folded. Instantaneous. She really shouldn't have stepped onto the ring if I'm being 100, but she does. And like a frog, she gets stepped on. Do y'all really need more than that? I don't think so. I think we're all in an understanding that there is no way Sue would be anywhere close to being any version of Undying, period. Undying wins. Now, we got a Frisk and Char situation. I'll say I didn't know who I wanted to win in this one before I made that list. Even while I was making that list, I didn't know who I wanted to win in this one. But there is a winner. It's not a draw. So, let me tell y'all what happened real quick, right? Frisk, Char, eternal rivals. They extra rivals. They hop onto the ring, determined to win, to show what one is really worth, to put everything on the line and win. Nah, but for real, they gonna go out there and have fun. It's not gonna affect their relationship or nothing. Sometimes you just gotta put your hands on your friends. If it's family members, siblings. This is one of those moments. Char, out on the field, she was like, I guess I still owe you one for making me put on that cheerleader outfit. Frisk is like, you just beat up Mineta for that. At the very least, we should be talking about how I manipulate you. But that's a different story. They obviously just playing with each other. They ain't got no ill will. It's time to box. Frisk and Char, they rush in, instantaneously. Frisk got the staff. Char got the knife. They clash. Back up a little bit, Frisk swinging this staff, bop, 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 clashing with the knife even more. They moving in circles, you know. Char slashing with his knife, clashing with the staff, you know. They ain't seeing no openings. They try to make one, you know, get some heavy movements going. You know, first gotta hit that low leg sweep. Char's already in the air, ready for the down slash, right? You know, first excellent at this dodging activity. You know, so she recovered quick, move out the way. Rocks scattered up, right? Char used the slash in the ground. It's a little bit of leverage. She on Frisk ass. Now Frisk gotta back up. Defensive. Char on the offensive. Now before this, niggas in the class wouldn't have assumed that Frisk was really gonna be keeping up with Char like that. Pro heroes didn't think that Frisk was gonna be keeping up with Char like this. Because Char's way more aggressive than Frisk. But Frisk, she keep that calm head. Char try to hit it with that thrust. Frisk, you know, spin on the staff a little bit, you know. Grab Char by the back of the collar. Throw her to the ground and shit. Throw her, you know, got her skating against the ground. They not going all out against each other, but they're more willing to fight serious when it's just them. Char starts summoning extra knives, throwing them. First done, you know, hopped over those, slammed the spear into the ground. More spears pop out the ground, you know. Char, you know, she gotta make that escape. You know, first following her as she, you know, falling back down from the sky and shit. Try to catch her out the sky. They clash in the air. You know, back up. Char almost fell off the back of the ring. She realized Frisk, hella intelligent with this shit. It's time to stop playing around. She full sprint, you know, realizing she about to lose, the determination pumping a little bit harder. Frisk realizing that Char has done up the ante instantaneously. She realized she want to win a little bit more, you know? So now it's a battle, like it's always been a battle, of who wants to win more in this situation. Frisk class with Char. You know, Frisk on a little bit of the defensive, you know, put the staff up. Char try to slash him down and shit. Char got a little bit more of an edge. She done got Frisk sliding against the ground and shit. After she able to follow through with the slash. Got Frisk backing up. She like, oh shit. Char try to jump up and hit her with some more. Frisk, you know, she done spin the staff up. This clock Char in the face while Char done move. I mean, Frisk done move right. Char fall. Frisk hit her in the face again with the fist. Got her flying back. Char about action though, and about full determination. As she get hit in the face, flying back, she grabbed Frisk on all types of timing. All types of timing. Grab Frisk. They both flying. Because Frisk wasn't moving, it stabilized both their movements a little bit. Char pulled Frisk under, knife to her neck. Char wins, nigga. That's how it work. Sometimes that's how it work. Sometimes you gotta put that real life, real blood, real activity into the mix. The plan was different. Frisk thought she had more time. She didn't realize it was checkmate. Anyway, Char continues. Frisk lose. We got Tokiomi and Bakugo like they wasn't canon. Canon shit happened. All right, canon shit happens. All right, all the things that happen in canon happens in this fight. Bakugo wins. So we kind of in the final stages. In the final stages, nigga. We got Shoutout versus Azrael, Papyrus versus Undyne, Char versus Bakugo. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. So, Shoutout versus Azrael, my nigga. Shoutout still don't know if he want to use fire for real, even though he kind of know he want to use fire, but he also not comfortable with it in the slightest since he hasn't used it to fight at all. But he kind of wants to use it more. He just also knows that, you know, he doesn't really know what he's doing. And then he's seen most of the fights with Azrael. Azrael was hiding his fire for a while. He's using that shit now. A little bit conflicted about that too. They get into the ring and stuff. Shoutout was like, "Why did you hide your power?" And I was just like, "Huh?" It was like, "You're fired. Why did you hide it?" This nigga Shoutout want to relate on the battlefield and shit. Like, what's wrong with bro? But it's like, Flowey said the same shit. He was like, "Is he really trying to relate to us on the battlefield? Is he trying to relate to us on the battlefield, Azrael? What are you going to say about this shit? Because I know what I was, Azrael got to calm Flowey down all the time. 99% of the time, Flowey needs to be calmed down. So, and it wasn't even like he was mad or anything. It was just the shock of the situation. And Azrael, he answered truthfully. He was like, "I wasn't necessarily hiding it. It's just, I just wasn't using it like that. I like controlling plants more." Todoroki, he's like, "But you're an expert with it?" It was like, "I'm good enough. If I had to, and if I want to, I can use it." Shoto, he ain't got that kind of confidence. So the match start, Flowey not really trying to be on the ground against some ice opponent that seems like instant death. He stays on Azrael, wraps up Azrael's arms in the vines, turn them into kind of like gauntlets. As Azrael blocks the snow, the ice barrage against from Todoroki. Obviously, Todoroki continues to let more ice run free as Azrael, or as Flowey, technically Azrael, uses vines to just start destroying more and more ice that's surrounding them, right as he hollows out the area that they're in. Kind of like on some Bakugo shit. Shoutout stop eventually. He can't do that shit forever, right? He don't know what the state of Azrael is anymore. Flowey shoot out a vine, wraps up Shoto and lifts him up as Azrael crashed out the rest of the ice. And Flowey laughing his usual laugh. It was like, that was a wonderful idea. Azrael seen from the last match, right, from Todoroki's last match, that if allowed, Todoroki would, no matter what, kind of brace himself with the ice to stop from falling out the ring. So he slams him back to the flow. Kind of got Todoroki bouncing off the ground and shit. As Azrael charged forward, got some fire in his hands and shit, he jump up in the air, let it down, let it loose. Todoroki covers himself in ice as Flowey lifts that whole part of the arena. That whole those cement blocks underneath Todoroki, lifts him up, throws him outside the arena. Todoroki don't know what the fuck going on. He done turtled himself. So it's Azrael's win. Ain't no losing on Azrael. At least not right now. Next match. Because, Todoroki was a little bit sad. He thought he was going to hit first place. He'll be all right, though. He wasn't getting past Azrael. It just didn't make sense. We got Papyrus versus Undyne. The whole reason why I had them fight them lame-ass side characters. But that's fine. They was ready for this shit, too, though. They was glad it happened like this. They wanted to see each other in the ring one more time. How strong have you gotten? I'm trying to see some, so, match began. Papyrus, he can't go no easy on Undyne. They both run up, they crashing. Some of the arena already kind of splitting apart. Bone and spear. This bring back memories of my boy Papyrus. Undyne don't know what the fuck going on, but that's fine. Maybe she'll never know. They start clashing, fighting, punching each other, dodging the punches, haymakers. Undyne strong enough to send Papyrus in and back a little bit. Papyrus, he got the he got the bob and weaves going, sometimes. He also got them gaster blasters. Undyne be seeing them coming though. She'll dodge them hoes. Block them hoes. She nice. Papyrus turned her blue. She also recognizes that this is Papyrus basically putting hella limitations on her. And if it continues like that, she gonna lose. So what does Undyne do? She gonna fill that whole arena up. The whole battle area with them spears. Obviously it formed a lot of a magical pool that Papyrus was able to a little bit feel and see. Papyrus jump up, land on a gaster blaster as whole lot of the whole area filled up. That stops Papyrus's blue attack or blue soul trait on Undyne. She grab a spear, she jump up too. The whole bite on her battle cry shit. Now, Papyrus is also way better in the air than Undyne would be. But Undyne not hella smart all the time anyway. So, she get up there. Papyrus, she got a bone, grab one, slam it into her, abdomen. She got to feel that shit in the morning. And she's done turned the arena into her battleground type shit, because she was about to fly out the ring, but a spear extended upwards, stopping her from flying back. As far, she look up smiling. It hurt, but she alright. And Papyrus realized she gonna drag this hoe out as far as it need to. So he like, fuck it, I'm gonna get in the mix then. On some, he been up there studying them spears. They are all active, but there is still gaps. You get down there with Bones, protecting himself. Get in between the spears. In the spears, right? Undyne, shark in the water. It looked like, she rushing in, trying to hit him on the left, hit him on the right. Got some spears throwing. Papyrus, he can block some of them. Papyrus over here thinking like, damn, if she knew how to use that green soul trait, this is almost him. This is almost her doing it like right now. But she ain't got no memories. So Papyrus gonna count this as a win, but he don't count it as a full win. He'll have to spar with her with her memories intact in order to count that one as a full win. But yeah, Papyrus, he been loading up something this whole time outside the spears. Around him, it's like he got two gaster blasters that's outside the ring, but they aimed on the left and right of him. Then they got two more that's also outside the ring, also aimed in front and back of him. Just gonna make a square of safety around him only. And right when he think she about to attack next, he gonna let that shit go. And when he do, all the spears get broke through, and she get hit in the double helix of the gaster blasters. She stunned a little bit, like, oh shit, kind of fried, like, damn, that shit hurt like hell, All she hears is as Papyrus grab her, drag her to the end of the ring. Undyne tried to summon some more spears. Too late. Papyrus jump off the ring, summon one more gaster blaster, because he know how sturdy Undyne is. Grab onto it as it fires downward, making her out. Yep. But yeah, I got Char versus Bakugo. That's the next matchup. Damn, I'm tired. And I'm back. I know to y'all, it's been a matter of seconds, of course. To me, I was working on this about a couple hours ago. I'm back though. I'm back. And I'm better. Better enough to finish this hoe off. So let's just get straight back to it. Char versus Bakugo. One of these individuals are going to be third place. I don't think it's spoilers to be saying that, considering how deep we're into this game. Char, determined. She done beat Frisk, so now she feel like she needed to take it home. She needed to take it to the gold. Said Frisk didn't lose for no reason. F everybody else. I mean, especially Mineta. That nigga wasn't making it. Who else did she fight? Was it just Mineta and then Frisk? It might have been. It could have been. It was. That's what it was. Yeah, fuck Mineta. Frisk, That Frisk didn't lose for no reason. Now she feel like she gotta take it home. Even more determined. Bakugo, he been gunning it from number one since the first one, which makes perfect sense. So it's time to win. Well, somebody has to. So, match start. Bakugo, Chara, mutual respect. More so on Bakugo's side than Chara's side, because Bakugo is a human and Chara doesn't fuck with people in the slightest. We've said this. Chara ready to knock a nigga off. So, let me just start this up. So yeah, match start. Chara, way more aggressive. Just way more aggressive than normal. She way more determined than normal too. So she, faster than normal, stronger than normal. And Bakugo, he gotta regulate this. He gotta adapt to that. Because she full sprint the whole goddamn thing, whole space almost. Damn, punch him. My boy Bakugo, he had to block that shit. He just fast enough to block the shit, but he had to, he blocked it, right? Fly back a little bit. She starts summoning the knives. Where are the knives? He starts summoning the knives and shit, shooting them off on some Soul Trace shit. Bakugo dodging, he weaving this shit. He going left to, into the circle and shit. Chara, she still got a knife on her, chasing him down. She got to chase him down. Try to cut him off from some shit. Bakugo, he hella nice with this shit. He a top tier fighter. He a top tier fighter. So she get close, he try to, whip around her with the explosions and shit. Right? He using that momentum, that spin ability. He trying to spin the wind and shit. Get some ground. Try to light off some ranged explosions. It ain't fucking with the ranged knives that Chara got, but he trying. But he adapting slowly. He getting there. He getting there. Chara, on his life, trying to hit his ass with the high kicks from above, punches, they get a little bit into close combat range. Because, Chara just hella aggressive. Bakugo, he got some weaves on him, right? He got some blocks. He can interrupt the combos. Chara a little bit, stronger than all that though. When the arm connect, she just pushed past that nigga, trying to send his ass off. Obviously, Bakugo ain't going for none of that shit. He sent her ass back with the explosions, just a line of explosions trailing. That shit hurt. But she ate that shit, ate that shit quick, got right back in the business. This is the moment when Bakugo realized she might just be goddamn, she might be one of them. So, before she get any closer, he had to hit that same shit he hit Tokiyami with, which is why Tokiyami lost. One of the reasons, developed that goddamn flashbang and shit, right? Blinding her. You feel me? Can't be adapting to that too much, All of a sudden, not in the sight. He come down from above, try to hit that with the explosions. She peep it. Look up, hit that same little slash. They feel like a wide range, that kind of clash with the explosions. Them boys, push off each other. is getting aggressive because Bakugo getting a little bit more aggressive with the shit. You know, he trying to blow up the ground and shit. Chara on similar timing. Get rid of all debris. She ready for the fair ones, for the fight. Still got knives shooting down. You feel me? He had to take some of those. He had to take some of those, but he ain't gonna take too many because he know that he'll lose. So eventually, because it's been a pretty even, drawn out fight, Chara eventually, catch his ass off guard. Whole lot of smoke around, other things in the area, right? She throw a knife at him. He weaved it, get kicked in his chest. Almost got sent flying out the ring and shit, but he fly because he got them explosions. He said bet it up. He didn't want to use it now, but he gonna have to. He started sending his ass up, sending himself upwards. Try to catch him out the sky with the jump. Bakugo not going for it. Grabbed her, throw her back down at the arena. Prepare for the Hauser impact. He started hitting that spin move. You feel me? Ready to charge enough for the Hauser impact. Char see it coming. She rushed towards it. On some, just on some shit. You feel me? Like she can only assume she ain't never seen this shit before. She can only assume it's on some wide range explosion shit. Bakugo's banking on the fact that she'd probably rush in and counter it with her own powerful slash move, and that's what she do. She jump up, out of her air element while she in the air and shit. She hit that crash with the Hauser impact and the slash. All these explosions been all the ones that's actually hit her, and that she actually had to fly back through. She was rolling and tussling all on this goddamn ground, so the whole arena is scratched up because of how many knives she's pulled out of nowhere to save herself from being outed, because Bakugo's explosions are just hella huge. But this one, it pushed the both of them back. It just so happens Char was out first. That's just really what that shit is. Char was just not in a advantageous position. She hit the arena one time, tried to, save herself a little bit after she regained consciousness for how hard she hit that goddamn arena. But it's all right. Next thing she knew, completely outside the arena. You feel me? Bakugo, in the air, he just touched land after Chara touched land. You feel me? That's just one of the only reasons why his ass is in the tournament still. Kind of on some Todoroki Sans shit, except Sans could have still been in the tournament. He just chose not to, and that's fine. Either way, Papyrus Azrael. This is Papyrus. This is Papyrus and Azrael's last fight before they going for number one. Bakugo just solidified his number one spot, or his number one or number two spot. The last round, Papyrus and Azrael, they box for the shit. They get down there prepared. My boy Papyrus always happy and shit, ready to win. Can't be too mad at him. Azrael, he hoping with what he's got going right now, he'll be able to do it. The battle begins, obviously Flowey. He creeping to the ground instantaneously. Azrael, he got the gaster blasters out, right? Start shooting. Flowey blocks the laser blast with the vines. My boy Azrael come out, peek around the wall. He trying to shoot with the fireballs. My boy Papyrus is flashy. He too flashy for it. He dodged one, dodged the other. Azrael still shooting off. Then Flowey starts shooting off the friendliness pellets, right? My boy Papyrus somewhere a bone. He starts spitting that boy. He deflected all the bullets. All the bullets get deflected. They know Papyrus. But they also not willing to lose right now. They trying to put some effort in. My boy Papyrus out here aura farming. They won't be allowing it for much longer. After Papyrus is done deflecting all the bullets, he rush in, hit Azrael with the mean right bat hook, you feel me, with the bone. Or at least he tried to. Azrael ducked it, right? Tried to hit Papyrus. Papyrus too fast for that reaction speed on 12. Tried to hit Papyrus in the back with the counter attack. My boy Papyrus, he just hit that spin move, grabbed Azrael's hand, got him spinning, sent him over to Flowey. Flowey had to catch him. Like, you idiot, can you focus on the goddamn battle? They always fighting. Papyrus jump up with another large bone, trying to bring it down on both Azrael and Flowey. Try to take him out the match and shit. Azrael dodge. Flowey, also dodge. Underground and shit. Azrael get tossed to the side. Papyrus starts summoning blue bones up. Sending them to Azrael. But it's like all along. It's along the floor. Like it would have captured, Azrael's leg if he would have stood there. So he had to dodge that, right, off balance. My boy Papyrus catching nigga off balance. Grabbed him, slammed him to the floor. That's when Flowey come back out. Start trying to wrap up Papyrus with the vines. My boy Papyrus, he start dodging, hitting the vines with the bones. They get grabbed up, so he summoned a Gaster Blaster. Right, all of a sudden, whole arena start flooding with vines. They trying to catch his ass. Papyrus out here flying around the Gaster Blaster. Summon another Gaster Blaster. Start shooting at the vines and shit. You know what Flowey on his sore loser shit. He won't be losing for the fun of it, right? Papyrus understand this. He ready. He still gotta win as far as he considered. Flowey done woke up Azrael on some get the fuck up, you fucking idiot. Azrael, he kind of ready for the smoke. He climbing up too, on the vines, right? Trying to get that vantage point on Papyrus. This Papyrus is flying around, right? He trying to shoot off the fireballs. Papyrus still deflecting. Bullets, friendliness pellets still getting shot at him. He dodging them, jumping from Gaster Blaster to Gaster Blaster, dodging the flames. He said, "All right, bet they got their attention on me. This is the perfect time to overcome all expectations." Got the he got to put the Gaster Blaster. He moved the Gaster Blaster right upside down, jump off though. He gunning for Flowey first. While he gunning for Flowey, the whole arena at the bottom of it specifically is goddamn walled off, basically, mainly for Azrael's protection, so that nigga don't leave the arena on accident or because of Papyrus. Papyrus, he get down there. He getting scratched up a little bit. This is Flowey's thorns and shit, but he also he got the plans. So you land on a vine, jump off the vine. He got Gaster Blasters all throughout the area. They shooting holes through it. This boy Azrael, he trying to, he just not fast enough. He just not fast enough right now. He ain't got all his powers unlocked, mainly because of him. But that's besides the point. But this boy Azrael, he see Papyrus, rushing towards him on jumping off the vines and shit, able to dodge, a little bit with his vine going down. Papyrus still lighting up this goddamn plant infestation, basically. You feel me? Left, right, up, down. Then he's sending bones from the top, blue bones. If you moving, you getting pushed down, basically. All of it's writhing. Flies out here bullshitting. Just kind of screaming in pain because that shit kind of hurt a little bit. Azrael, he on some, I'm about to burn it up, before he could really, set his play into motion. Let the vines gather so he can smoke that shit out. Gaster Blaster almost take out Azrael. He just barely sensed that magic, had to weave it on the last minute. All of a sudden, Papyrus there on this shit. Whole bone summoned to knock Azrael up. Papyrus big boots him out the arena. Azrael's out. Papyrus wins. Final two, we got Bakugo and Papyrus. One of these people are going to be first place. The other one's going to be second place. I'll go over the placements after. But we're in the finals. Bakugo and Papyrus. They've been waiting for this. They got some words to say. They get in the ring and shit. But Bakugo's like, I knew I'd be facing you in the end. Papyrus like, yeah. It was a long, drawn-out fight. But we're finally at the top. Bakugo's over there. Don't see your lazy-ass brother nowhere. It was like, yeah, I talked to him about it. I'm proud he got this far. Bakugo won't be understanding Papyrus anytime soon. Now it's also not one of them days. So, he ready for the match. Papyrus also readies himself. Midnight. She hit that. She held shit. Do your dance. Anyway, she held her shit. She held her shit. Match begins. Papyrus, he get on a little bit on the defensive because he know Bakugo straight aggression 90% of the time. Bakugo, what he on. Full rush a nigga down shit. He try to hit him with that overhand explosion. Papyrus block. Then he grab the nigga arm, slam him down. But Bakugo was ready for that shit. He used an explosion to propel himself upwards, pulling Papyrus a little bit. He re-grabbed Papyrus' arm. He land, try to spin him off. Papyrus, he heavy set, but in moments of confusion, he can get tossed too. Use his explosions to try to throw him out the ring. Obviously, Papyrus ain't going for that shit. Summon bones up. He land on the bones, jump off the bones, ready for his, hit his ass with that mean haymaker to the gut. Obviously, Papyrus is holding back because he can't hit regular people as hard as he actually needs to, and he knows this instinctively, right? So Bakugo, he eat that shit kinda. That shit hurt though, right? He tried to bring both his hands close to Papyrus' face. Papyrus quick, he ducked that shit with the explosions. You feel me? Summon a bone up. He sent that boy Bakugo flying up. Bakugo won't be treated like this, so he start raining down explosions from the sky, right? Trying to just shoot every last one of them off. As soon as he think that Papyrus thinks that he got him, you know what I'm talking about. He let off that goddamn flash grenade, try to blind Papyrus. Papyrus this the third match he done used that hoe. Papyrus was ready. He didn't need to see him. He had the Gaster Blaster waiting. Obviously, Bakugo would have seen that shit last minute. Just barely escaped from the blast, from the laser beams and shit, right? Then he tried to come down on Papyrus. Overhand explosions again. Papyrus would have jumped up before the explosion landed, grabbed him, try to throw him out the ring again. These niggas fly. This is going to be a hard match for Papyrus. You're going to have to nail his ass down to the ground or to nail his ass down outside the ring. For Bakugo, in order to win, he gotta get past this nigga insane durability, insane endurance, insane strength, insane speed. This nigga goddamn All Might. Just a little bit, he over everybody else, but just a little bit less than All Might. Either way, Bakugo would see no greater rival in anybody else. In some way, he feel like he gotta hit that shit, and the only way he think he can do it It's Hazard Impact. You know, Bakugo, he fly up some more, right? Land in front of Papyrus, right? Papyrus wasn't expecting it. He tried to hit his ass with some explosions. Papyrus, you know, he ate that shit. Turn around, you know, try to hit his ass with the bones. Bakugo ain't trying to eat any of that shit. Weave, you feel me? Hit his ass with some more explosions. Papyrus, he try to swing again. Weave. Papyrus realized what's going on. He leaned back from the third explosion. Sent a kick his way. Got his ass rolling through the on the ground in the arena. Sending up bombs. Gotta try to run some more. He try to attack Papyrus, you know, try to land some. Papyrus quick with the shit. He like jumped forward towards Bakugo when he was coming in, grabbed him, slammed him to the floor. Bakugo not done though, you know, he let off huge explosion, knocked Papyrus up in the air and shit. Right? Got my boy coughing. He catch that nigga off in the air, you know, he grab him on some tackle shit, try to lean him down into the outside the arena. Papyrus not going for it though. You know, need that boy in the sternum. Got a Gaster Blaster to catch him on the way down. Put him back in the arena. Bakugo was not done. He came back, destroyed the Gaster Blaster and shit. Papyrus, you know, he had to, you know, he flew off that hoe at first, landed, Bakugo right in his face again. He had to hit some quick movements, you know. So he put both his hands, like, you know, onto Bakugo, flip him over. Bakugo still on his ass though, all around him, trying to send explosions. Bang, bang. He ain't stopping. Papyrus recognized the pattern, grabbed him, you know, hit the spin, slam him to the ground. That boy bounced off the ground and shit. Papyrus, he send a kick. Bakugo just good enough to block that hoe. But that's still not good enough to send him out the ring. He can fly. Papyrus like, fuck it, I'ma fly too. You know, he jump up, clash with Bakugo, bounce off the clash onto a Gaster Blaster. Now they got some fly matches going on. Fucking Blast getting shot left and right, up and down. Nigga trying to destroy the Gaster Blasters. Papyrus will hop off one into the other one. It's a dedicated match. You know, niggas on the edge of their seat and shit. Out here like, wow, oh my gosh, look at them niggas, they going crazy. Papyrus getting amidst amount of hoes. No, I'm joking. But you feel me? He just got swagger while he doing all this shit. You know he do. Bakugo, he got hella aggression. Can't be mad at the aggression completely, cause he getting somewhere. Either way, they hit a clash again. Bakugo destroyed the Gaster Blaster, and Papyrus fly off backwards. He didn't expect Papyrus to have a Gaster Blaster on top of him. Papyrus predicted this. It hit him. Bang. He didn't get hit to the ground, but he lowered. That's all Papyrus needed. Blue attacks. Nigga, you in the sky. You for sure moving. But now Bakugo gotta get to the ground while niggas at the top. That alone solidified Papyrus's win conditions. Now he over here on the ground in the arena. Papyrus got a Gaster Blaster waiting for him as these blue attacks trying to coming down and shit. He can't go through the blue attack, so he trying to get even lower. He trying to move from the Gaster Blaster. It still blast off, hitting him a little bit, sitting him a little bit, flying. Whole time, it was all to prepare for this moment. That nigga Papyrus, he jump off another Gaster Blaster he made up there. Kick that nigga in his chest, send him flying to the out ring. He ain't coming back. Papyrus wins. The crowd goes wild and shit. First place, Papyrus. Gold medals and shit. You know how it is, you know, big Papyrus. I had to give it to Papyrus, especially because I knew Sans wasn't going wasn't going to stay here after Todoroki fight. That shit was long. I hate tournaments. I can't lie to you. What if in on tournaments? I'll try to get better at the shit. We'll see how this video look once I edit it down. Hopefully it's not 2 hours and 30 minutes long, but we'll find out. But yeah. With that being said, let's go over some of the important people's placement. All right. I'm not going over all of them, but I might put a picture of the tournament sheet that I made. But yeah, Papyrus first, Bakugo second. You know, Papyrus obviously get that gold medal on him. Niggas happy. He happy. Gaster at the house with Inko for once. Them niggas are happy. They also happy that Sans made it as far as he did, because especially Gaster, because Gaster knows that he don't fight for no fucking reason, especially not to be trying to entertain or get the approval of regular people. But he is happy that he made it that far. You know, Uraraka, you know, she did, you know, have that moment where she was crying on that phone in the locker room or whatever. But she happy that Bakugo at least got second place. You know, she didn't lose to know anybody in this bitch. You feel me? She lost to second place, which isn't as good as first place, but shit, nigga got second place. So, you know, can't be mad at that. We got a whole bunch of people out there. They cheering on Papyrus. You know, Bakugo. Who's third place? Goddamn, the left side would have had more fights than the right side of the tournament. I didn't realize this while I was making it. But when I finished, I realized it. Don't worry about it. I'm not going back or fixing shit. So this is just what it's going to be. All right, Chara. So first place, Papyrus. Second place, Bakugo. Third place, Chara. She got that bronze medal. My boy Azriel, fourth place. That's an honorary mention. He did great. Who else was important? Tokiyomi, right? Not really super important, but originally he was third place. The nigga seventh now. Do with that as you will. There's a whole bunch of hella extra characters here. It be like that. Would he have lost to some of the niggas that place higher than him? Probably. Would he have lost to some of the niggas that place lower than him? Probably. But that's besides the point. Frisk just so happened to be 8th place because of the way that the shit went in order. Kind of crazy how she was, you know, the 8th human soul that fell in the underground and was the 8th place nigga here. I thought that was pretty interesting, considering I didn't plan any of that shit out. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Undyne 5th place. Skipped her. Completely forgot about that shit. Undyne is 5th, right? So shit, who's 6th? Yeah, Todoroki. Todoroki 6th place. He was 2nd place originally. Hella niggas that was fighting this time. Sans is 12th place. Shout out to my nigga 12. Was there anybody else that was important here? Nah, not really. My nigga won. My boy Papyrus won. Yep. First place. Like I said before, just saying it again, Bakugo Bakugo 2nd, Chara's 3rd, Azriel's 4th, Undyne's 5th, Shoutout 6th, Tokiyomi 7th, Frisk is 8th. Who the fuck is 9th? Sue? See, this is territory of niggas I don't give a fuck about. And Ida's 10th. That's his top 10. Now let's get to some after credit scenes, all right? First and foremost, you know we got Shigaraki out here. He taking notes. He writing down names. He making lists and shit. All for One somehow knows that All Might ain't got no successor yet. Shigaraki, he preparing. Somebody else who's not with Shigaraki but has also seen this tournament, you know, recognizes some faces. Sans, Frisk, Chara specifically. Papyrus, who's the main face, you know. Chara was also up there. It's also a main face as well. This person looks at it and was like, they start coming up with plans. Is that gonna happen? Is that person gonna be mentioned soon? We'll find out. Gaster, he going back to the lab. He got lab shit to do. Are we ever gonna find out what's happening with that? Maybe. We'll find out. What else do I need to talk about? Oh yeah, the quirk. After the tournament, even although Bakugo was mad, he wasn't spazzing out terribly. Sans Papyrus looking at him. They look at each other, looking back at him after the whole thing's kind of said and done, and niggas are celebrating and niggas are going home and shit. They pop up on Bakugo like, you seem a lot less mad than I thought you'd be. Bakugo got second place, so he's like, yeah, I mean, I lost this time. That just means that I just haven't worked hard enough. I'll get stronger, and I will be number one. You put your life savings on that one, all your riches. I don't care what he talking this shit, regular Bakugo. But they do notice a change in behavior. So they like, hey, we got somebody that want to talk to you. Well, we kind of recommended you to somebody. And this shit coming from Papyrus, he knows Sans involved, so he kind of a little skeptical, but he like, what are y'all talking about? They on some follow them type shit. He ain't got these his childhood friends, so he gonna follow them. They get into a little bit of a monitoring room, some security shit. They see All Might. All Might, he clap it up for the boys, Papyrus and Bakugo. They got first and second place. Sans clapping for himself, Can't be too mad at Sans. He tried his best, quote unquote. Which Bakugo still don't respect, but he gonna let that shit slide because it's not his business, he guess. He trying to figure out what's going on with All Might. He kind of stiffen up a little bit, he trying to put on a brave face. Papyrus and Sans, they walk over and they like, this is All Might. Obviously, All Might in his All Might form. Bakugo can see that. There ain't no, he kind of questioning why the fuck they introduced him like that. He knows that they dad is, a big shot hero. It's not like he ever held it up over him or anything. So it was, he just not fully understanding what's going on in this moment. All Might, he hit that question on him. I've been watching you. I've been seeing your movements. I've been seeing how you've been doing, how great you've been. And I was wondering, would you be my successor, right? Obviously, Bakugo ain't got no full clue what's going on. So Papyrus, Sans, and All Might, they give him the rundown with the injury to All Might's side, rundown about what's going on with All Might's quirk and how that shit gotta operate. This is why Sans and Papyrus was helping him with his actual strength training instead of, on some quirk shit, so that he could take One For All. That's that's who's getting it. It's Bakugo. Because they've been influencing Bakugo a lot. And because Bakugo is more mature than he was in canon, they thought this would be the best route. Because they wasn't gonna take it. But Bakugo don't gotta know that right now. That's not supposed to be influencing Bakugo's decision. He's just supposed to be like, hey, we giving you the keys. Will you accept? This is his hero. He gonna accept. All the other UA students, they going home and shit. We got Frisk, Chara, they happy. Azrael, Frisk, Chara, Azrael, they all happy and shit. They waiting on the bus. Or are they going home? To bus to the school so they all could go home. Talking about what happened and shit, right? They eventually see Bakugo, Papyrus, and Sans. They come out with All Might, or, No, they don't. They come out by themselves. All Might's still up there. You know, my boy had to eat some hair. You know he had to eat some hair. Another thing for Sans to tease Bakugo with. Either way, yeah, man, we got some new shit going on. A little bit of it, you know. I said there was another person that, you know, recognized some faces of the Undertale cast. They might or might not be a problem. We'll find out in another episode. I fucking hate tournaments. These bitches take forever and a day. But I'm glad that I got through it. Glad that this is over. 3 fucking hours of recording that I'm gonna have to edit. Let's hope that shit get down a little bit. God willing. Yeah, I don't think I have much else to say. I think I've talked about everything I want to talk about in this episode. And I'm tired. Well, next thing you'll see from me is a villain episode. So, which I am excited about. So, if somehow you watched all this episode, all of this shit, maybe it was during work or a 3-hour long drive or some shit, you know, that you just wanted to hear a nigga voice, which I appreciate you every time. Yeah, have a good day, whatever you're doing, all of your endeavors. You know, God bless, God willing, you succeed. And yeah, I'm leaving now.